I've studied the VSL frameworks of Alex Hormozi, Russell Brunson, Eugene Schwartz, Dan Kennedy, and Stephen Georgi. I've analyzed dozens of VSLs that have generated millions of dollars. And I've written my own VSL that generated me over $1 million. Today, in this video, I'm breaking down the exact anatomy of a high-converting VSL, the hook strategy from Hormozi, the story architecture from Brunson's Epiphany Bridge, and also the objection handling and closing frameworks from all of these guys that actually get people to buy your B2B service. Let's dive in. All right, so let's dive in. Part 1 is the hook. This is the first 3 to 7 seconds of your video. It has one job and one job only, is to keep them watching for the next 30 seconds. That's it. It doesn't sell your product. It doesn't tell your life story. It just earns you a little more of their time. So you got to make sure the hook does 2 things. It validates why they're here. It shows them you understand their problem, and it opens the curiosity gap. You want them to keep watching, right? So rather than me explaining all the theory, I've come up with 3 simple fill-in-the-blank templates that you can use right now. Hook template number 1 is the pattern interrupt hook, right? So the formula is you're probably struggling with the problem. So you're probably struggling to get, okay, for this whole video, I'm going to use a cold email agency that does pay per qualified lead system, okay? So you're probably struggling with the problem, qualified leads, because you've been told to the common wrong to hire an expensive sales team or run paid ads. What if I told you the real reason is you don't have a predictable outbound system, surprising costs, and you could actually get 30 plus meeting ready leads every month, dream outcome, by using a simple method called pay performance cold email system, right? So this hook is, I would say, probably one of the most powerful because it calls out their pain, invalidates what they've been trying, and introduce a new integrating solution, right? You can also use the relatability hook, right? Let me guess. You feel frustrated and anxious, painful emotion, because you're stuck in the bad situation, feast or famine cycle of unpredictable revenue. I know exactly what that's like. For years, I struggled with the same thing, and it's not your fault. You've just been using the wrong lead generation method, right? Ads or some shit. Next few minutes, I'm going to show you one small discovery that changed everything, right? So it starts with empathy, and this also gets them to like, okay, like what did they discover, right? Hook number 3 is the authority hook. So if you have loads of case studies, this could be a very good hook for you. So example is, how do we help over number of industry, client type, achieve specific result, 30 plus meeting ready leads every single month without hiring expensive sales teams or spending thousands on ads? It's because of a unique system we developed called unique pay per performance cold email system, where you only pay for qualified leads that actually show up. How powerful is that, right? And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works. So if you have case studies, use this one, okay? So these are the hooks. Just use one of these templates and you're good to go, okay? Next is the story. Now, this is the heart of your VSL, right? So here in the VSL, we're not going to hammer them with all the features and all the things that we are good at. We're going to try and relate to them by telling a story, okay? So a good story does 3 magical things. Number 1, it breaks down their defenses, right? When you tell a story, people feel like people stop feeling like they're being sold to. It builds trust because they relate, and it proves your point without like you lecturing, oh, I'm the best, I'm the best. That doesn't sell, right? So this is actually Russell Brunson's Epiphany Bridge at work. So this is where I learned this from. So you take your prospect on the same journey that you went on, right? Again, it's very good if your journey is, you found a problem, you solve the problem, and that's why you're now selling the solution, okay? So the blueprint, Act 1 is the connection. You want to try and relate to them and describe their current reality in detail, talk about their frustrations, their fears, and what they've already tried that didn't work, right? So template is, and if you're watching this, you're probably feeling painful emotion, overwhelm, and stress about where your next client is coming from. You're trying everything to get consistent leads, so achieve the goal. You've tried Facebook ads, you've tried content, right? Marketing agency. Nothing seems to be working. And the magic phrase is, it's not your fault, right? This gives them permission to let go of all the things they've tried, right? It's not your fault. You've just been using the wrong lead generation method, right? So Act 2, the struggle amplification. Now you gently twist the knife. You talk about the real cost of staying stuck. What happens if they don't solve this problem? What does it cost them in money, time, and stress, right? So like in sales calls, once you uncover the pain points, you want to twist the knife to make sure they feel it more so that it's easier for them to like the solution you're going to offer, right? So the template is, but the real problem is what happens if you do nothing. You'll keep painful action. You'll keep waking up at 3 a.m. wondering how you're going to make payroll. You'll keep feeling the negative emotion and not in your stomach, checking your pipeline. And in 6 months, you're going to be in the same spot, right? And then number 3 is when you introduce yourself. There's a better way. Aha. right? This can be your own story, or this could be like the solution. But the template is, I was in the same boat until one day I discovered something that changed everything. I realized the problem wasn't my offer or my sales skills, so the thing that they think is a problem. The real problem was the actual problem, which is the lead generation methods are too expensive and take way too long to work. And once I figured out or discovered cold email, the unique mechanism where I could reach my exact customers directly without burning thousands on ads, that's when everything changed, right? And then Act 4 is to reinforce that your discovery actually has proof. So this is just case studies, right? And it just didn't work for me. Take client name, client description, problem, unique mechanism, time frame, and result, right? Very easy, right? So just explain a case study. And Act 5, you want to drive home the point of all Acts 1 and 4 by saying this could be you, right? So imagine what it would feel like if, all 4 acts get together. So the template is now you have a choice. You can keep doing what you've been doing, or you can use the same system that has helped client and hundreds of others, get predictable, consistent leads, right? And then you paint them their dreams scenario. Imagine what it would feel like, wake up a month from now and have, exactly where your next 10 clients are coming from. What would they change for you, for your business, for your family, right? So take these 5 acts and write them down, 1 or 2 sentences for each. This is your storyline, right? It doesn't need to be an exact script as long as you can get it correct, okay? So part number 3 is the objection. So you've got them hooked on the story, you've got them hooked on the solution, but they're still going to have objections. Their logical brain will be kicking in, right? What about the price? Will this work for me, right? And if you don't address this here, everything that we've done up to so far will be all for nothing, right? So you need to dissolve the objections. So this is adopted from Jordan Belfort's looping technique, where instead of stopping to handle an objection, you acknowledge the objection, you reframe the objection, and you look back why your solution is the best, right? So there are only 4 big objections that stop 99% of sales. And if you can answer these 4, you're golden, right? So I'm going to line up the 4 most common objections, but my pro tip for you for your own offer, if you already have sales calls data, you go to your sales calls, you extract as much transcript as you can, upload it to ChatGPT, and have ChatGPT rank based on frequency what objection comes up the most. And then the way you put it in your VSL is you put the most common objection first and answer that first and go down in descending order of frequency. Okay? Got it? So let's address these 4 big objections. The money objection, right? It's too expensive. So how you reframe it is reframe it as an investment, not a cost, right? So you say, you might be thinking this sounds great, but what's the investment? I get that. But let me ask you a question. What is it costing you to not solve this problem, right? What's the price of another 6 months of pain, inconsistent leads, of staying stuck in a bad situation, right? You basically want to outline what's the opportunity cost of not doing this, right? So that's money objection. It's pretty similar to sales calls, actually. Objection number 2 is time. I don't have time. So you reframe it by saying this system doesn't cost you time, it buys you back time. Because some prospects will feel, okay, if I buy a new system, I'll have to put some work into it. That is correct. But you need to reframe it in a way like, once we get this up and running, it's going to buy you back time, right? So the template is, now you might be busy, you might be thinking you don't have time to implement this, and that's exactly why you need it. This system is designed to be implemented in just, a few hours, blah, 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 more importantly, right? So this is a completely done for you service. We handle everything. You literally just show up to the calls. How much time are you wasting right now chasing unqualified leads? Boom. Just frame it in a way that either it's an investment, if they actually do need to invest some time here, or if it's a done for you service like the cold email thing, just say, well, bro, you don't even need to do anything. Okay. Objection number 3, will this work for me? So the reframe is, this is different from everything you've tried because of, so if you have a guarantee or unique mechanism here, this is where you would put it in. So you would say something like, it's smart to be skeptical. You probably tried other lead generation methods before. It's paid ads, marketing agency, blah. The reason that they didn't work because they're missing one key ingredient. You only pay for results. With our pay performance model, you literally only pay for qualified leads, right? So this is brilliant, especially if you have a pay per lead model, to basically make sure paint as least friction as possible that this will work for them. Okay. Objection number 4, I'm not ready. And basically you reframe it by saying there's no perfect time, right? The cost of waiting is higher than the cost of starting, right? So you just say, it's easy to think I'll do this later, but when is the right time, right? Another day you don't do this, another day you're losing money, right? So write down these 4 objections, or the objections I told you to use with ChatGPT, and then use the templates to write 1 or 2 sentences for each one. Okay. Now, part 4, the close, is you want to make sure that the decision that they're going to make is easy. You want to, like for lawyers, like in front of the court, you want to make sure your closing remarks is good. So a great close make the value so huge, the risk so small that the next step is so clear that buying becomes obvious, right? So a structured close works because it builds overwhelming value, removes risk, gets urgency, and then makes it clear what they need to do next, right? So we're going to use Alex Hormozzi's value stack close to do this in the closing remarks, right? So his value equation is dream outcome times perceived likely of an achievement divided by time delay, X effort, and sacrifice, right? So number 1, the recap and stack. So first of all, you recap all the things that they're going to get, okay? So now you have 2 choices. You can keep doing things the old way, or you can use the system name to finally achieve dream outcome. Here's everything you're going to get if you join today, right? Bonus 1, a system, bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3. Put in the value if you want to, if you have the value. I prefer to do it. And then basically say total value of everything you're getting is like $5,000, right? And then, so this one, right, it depends on whether actually, step number 1 depends on whether you actually reveal the price or not. Some people don't reveal their the price of their service on the VSL, which is also fine because I don't too. So if you don't do that, then you can just outline the feature without actually having the value, because then you wouldn't have an anchor to say, well, you know, this is 5,000, our price is only 2,000, right? If you don't reveal the price anyways, just put in the features or bonuses here, okay? So if you do reveal the price, step number 2 is, now that you've anchored it to a high value, you just say, well, you're not even going to pay 4,000, you're not going to pay 3,000, everything is just 997. Boom. That's it, right? And then step number 3, to drive home, like, okay, the value is so high, the price is not close to the value, and we have a guarantee, so it makes it a no-brainer, right? So I want to take the risk all of your shoulders. This is our meeting ready lead guarantee. We only charge you for leads that are qualified and actually show up. If they don't show up, you don't pay. If they're qualified, you don't pay. Take on 100% of the risk, right? Which is a brilliant guarantee, right? And then number 4 is the urgency, why they need to act now, right? So you can say like, we only take 10 new clients every month, blah, 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 or just say like, you can only have 10 clients at any given time, stuff like that, right? And then last one is the CTA, is basically telling them what to do. So the template is, so if you're ready to finally achieve dream outcome, 30 plus qualified leads without paying a dime until they show up, here's what to do next. Click the book your strategy call button below. You'll be taken to my calendar, and then pick up a time for the call, right? And that's it. That's your VSL. That's a very, very powerful VSL. So if you get this document, you'll have the complete template here, from the hook, the story, objections, the close, and then also everything you need to basically close more clients and convert more leads into clients. So hopefully that was useful. If you are interested, I run a done-for-you paid ads client acquisition system that guarantees 10 to 15 new high-ticket clients every month for B2B companies doing 50K plus per month. It's called the Never Stale Funnel System. It includes 25 ad credits every month, including AI clones, so you don't have to keep re-recording. Complete funnel setup with the landing pages, VSL email sequences. We'll write it out, you record, and then we edit it. We'll build the landing page, write the copywriting for the landing page. We'll write out the email sequences, 4 YouTube videos plus 16 social posts monthly for authority building, and then getting you in 2 US national publication placements every month. And of course, the media buying, traffic optimization, and conversion. So here's the best part. I guarantee you 30 clients by month 3, or you don't pay, and I work for free until you hit that goal. So if you want to skip the do-it-yourself route and you want me to build the entire system for you, just book a free strategy call with me. We'll audit your current ad creatives and funnel if you already have one. If you don't, then we're gonna make a custom game plan for your offer to get 10 to 15 clients per month predictably, and see if the system will be a fit for your business. So if you're interested, put a link in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on the website, definitely on the website. If you're opening this document, then definitely in the document over here. So thank you for watching, and yeah, hopefully I can talk to you soon and work together. See ya.